This Week in Cybersecurity is sponsored by MATIC, America's antivirus.
Lawmakers at the state and national level are now wrestling with how to harden cybersecurity at water utilities. This coming as U.S. security officials issue a brand new warning in the aftermath of that water utility plant getting hacked. This in the Pittsburgh metro area. Remember that? A piece of computer technology monitoring water pressure at the Municipal Water Authority in that Pittsburgh area was shut down by the Iranian anti-Israel group called Cyber Avengers. And they left this note, and you can see it on your screen, saying this, quote, "You have been hacked down with Israel. Every equipment made in Israel is Cyber Avengers' legal threat." The hacked equipment is manufactured by Unitronics, a technology company based in Israel. Scott Augenbaum is a retired FBI supervisory special agent, the author of The Secret to Cybersecurity, and joining us live on this one. Scott, thank you so much. So, lawmakers, if we get into this conversation, what do they need to do? Is there something lawmakers can do to protect water facilities from foreign actors?
I always say we have to go back in time. 1998, President Clinton, haven't used that word in a while, Presidential Directive 63, National Infrastructure Protection Center, created in Washington, D.C., an interagency task force of the federal government to focus on critical infrastructure protection, because the critical infrastructure is owned by the private sector. And it starts in 1998, and as a young FBI agent, I'm going out and I'm talking. I remember sitting at a water utility conference in 2000 talking about the dangers. And they were like, "Hey, you're the guy from the government. You can't tell us what to do." And in 2011, we had Stuxnet, which was, a virus that was hitting critical infrastructure. And we had the warnings. The problem keeps getting worse, and I hate to say it as a country, we keep kicking the can down the road. What has to happen for us to really start taking this seriously and implementing the cybersecure mindset that I talk about all the time?
Yeah, and again, it seems as if these are, smaller groups, if you will, but if they got bigger, perhaps a country even, this could get even worse, a foreign country. The chairman of the Water Authority, Matthew Motz, is speaking out about the hack, the one specifically we're talking about in Pennsylvania. He said, quote, "If you told me to list 10 things that would go wrong with our water authority, this would not be on the list." And that's amazing there, going off of your experience and what you shared 24 years ago. It's not on the list, but it should be, Scott.
Well, we hear that so often with so many other companies. Now, remember, the infrastructure, I think last count there were 16 different infrastructures. It's the same thing with chemicals. It's the same thing with telecommunications. And when I was going out and talking to the owners and operators, they have outdated equipment. They have so many other things that they need to worry about. And I remember at one point going out and warning the telecommunications sector that, look, it's not really good that you guys are buying Chinese parts. And again, they would say, look, this is cost effective and we don't want the guy from the government telling us what to do. And unfortunately, what's the answer? Do we throw more money at the problem? Do we try to fix these problems? Who's responsible? We need to have a cybersecure mindset, which means not throwing tons of cash about the problem, coming up with a collective strategy so we can address these issues and we can all stay safe. And we can do this in our personal lives as well as with critical infrastructure.
That is Scott Augenbaum joining us with that on the cyber segment here. Scott, thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
This Week in Cybersecurity is sponsored by MATIC, built by Americans to